What's the most wholesome conspiracy theory? Rocks are soft until you touch them. What are some red flags for teachers that scream, "Drop this class immediately"? Well, I had a teacher that I loved, but everyone hated. My economics teacher was an absolute madman. First day of econ, madman. First rule! Any and all cell phones are to remain off! And if I see you using them, I will throw them out the door! Cell phone rings. It's his. Madman looks at the class, grabs his cell phone, throws it out the door! Madman. Didn't need to talk to my wife anyways. What profession was once highly respected, but is now a complete joke? The president. Yeah, but the president of what? Also, great response. Well played. Checkmate. People that have friends. How? An extrovert finds you and adopts you. This is so true. So very true. He says true story. Yes, it is. What's the most refreshing act of I don't give a fuck that you've ever witnessed? In high school, a friend of mine got piss-loaded drunk. I mean, it's a miracle he didn't end up in the hospital. And he didn't have a drive home from the party. So what does he do? He calls the police and says, "Yeah, there's some drunk fucker walking up 3rd Street yelling." And what does he do then? He walks up 3rd Street till they drive by, pick him up, and bring him to his mother's house. That man's a savage. Absolute savage. What was ruined because too many people started doing it? Having sex with my wife. That's awesome. Fuck. Oh. Well played. Redditors. What started off as a small lie but then snowballed into "this is my life now"? Told a small lie to a girl I was texting that I loved running. Don't know how it sold because I was fat. Started running the second after I sent that. 5 years later, I went from 298 to 180 pounds. Not bad. He got into shape from a lie. Well played. Well played. Fake it till you make it. I believe this must be pounds. Yeah. If that was 298 kilograms, holy fuck. But awesome job. Well played. Well played. You have been accepted for an experiment. You must stay in a room with nothing but a bed, toilet, food, water, and no human contact for 1 month. If you succeed for the whole month without giving up, you get $5 million. Do you accept? And what are your coping strategies to avoid mental breakdown? No human contact? I've already got that down. That's a paid vacation. Yeah. I'm an introvert too, so agreed. People that have friends. How? Step 1, go to an animal shelter. Step 2, fill out an adoption application. You now have the greatest friend in the world for the next decade. Nothing could be more true than this. Just do it if you're alone and want friends. True friends. That won't betray you. That won't stab you in the back. The best kind of friends. You get to choose a skill at which you will be best at. But instead of you getting better, everyone else just gets worse. What skill do you choose? Being a dumbass. Now everyone is a sensible and intelligent and rational human being. Way to take one for the team. Right? Well played, man. Well played. Reddit. What is something that you can't believe is actually a real thing? The share button on porn sites. That's so true. Who are you sharing your porn with? Who indeed? Who are you comfortable enough with that you're like, yeah, check this out? Yeah, it's 7 guys pounding one girl. I just thought you'd like this. You know, I thought we were that kind of friend that I would share that with you. You're welcome. Oh, we're just work friends? Yikes. What movie changes the plot if you add a random R somewhere in the title? Fantastic breasts and where to find them. I would watch that. Speaking of share buttons on porn sites, yeah, I would enjoy this movie. What is the best thing to say to someone to subtly fuck with their head? What would you change about yourself apart from the obvious? That would definitely, yeah, that would screw with you. Yeah, you would wake up screaming in the middle of the night. What did he mean by that? If all of a sudden all humans simultaneously lost the ability to sneeze, how long do you think it would take mankind as a collective to realize? This is the deepest shit I've read all day. I'm perplexed by this. Would we even realize? I can't remember the last time someone sneezed. Could it have happened already? When did I last sneeze? Oh, God! Oh, great response. Perfect. Where do people think about this? Yeah, right? Ladies, what is the most obvious hint you've dropped that went unnoticed by a guy? Well, my current boyfriend and I started out in this weird friends that flirt stage. I was trying to find a way to get him to make a move. One very hot evening, the middle of August, we were sitting in his backyard with a few of our friends drinking beer. I sat on the same lawn chair as him, kind of wiggled in and said, "I'm cold." He left me alone in the chair and proceeded to build a giant fire. It took like an hour. When he was finished making the fire, he sat back down in a different chair. No man passes up a good excuse to light shit on fire. Every woman should know this. Every woman. There's a room in your house where time doesn't flow. You can stay in there for as long as you could possibly want, and not a second will have passed outside that room. What would you use this room for? I'd arrange all my social interactions to take place just outside the doorway, and then if anyone says anything that needs a comeback, I can casually step inside and think of the perfect thing to say. That's awesome. And a total waste of the most wicked room I've ever heard of in my life. But, yeah. What's the most wholesome conspiracy theory? Rocks are soft until you touch them. That's awesome. That one's great. That one hits home. That hits me right here. Soft spot. And then someone gives like a real answer. They're like, an experiment was recently completed that shows that particles can change upon observation. So this may not be that far-fetched after all. Holy fuck, we're down the rabbit hole now, Cassie! Jesus. There's always one. There's always one. What is the dumbest thing you've ever done for absolutely no reason? Someone asked me what time it was, and I lifted and rotated my wrist so that I could look at my watch. I was holding an iced tea, and just poured the whole thing in my lap. I wasn't wearing a watch. I didn't even own a watch. Never. Oh man, that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh my God, that guy wins at life. You win at life. What would you do if Barack Obama knocked on your door with a suitcase and said he was going to stay with you for a few weeks? I'd wonder why he was here in rural England. But go ahead and put the kettle on. That would be funnier with an English accent, I think. It's a good response. I'd get really mad that I just shit my pants. Pardon the smell, Obama. That was an accident. How would you feel about a law that requires people over the age of 70 to pass a specialized driving test in order to continue driving? That's a great idea. I'm going to call my 68-year-old congressman and ask him to support such legislation. I get this. That was passive-aggressive. Because most politicians are older than fuck. You see? You see what that is? What was something you saw you definitely were not supposed to see? Well, I was about 8 or 9 and my parents were going to be out of town. So they had me and my siblings stay with a family from our church. Once we got to the house, which was really nice by the way, they had one rule. You can play wherever you want, but the basement is off limits. Me being the little bastard that I am, I snuck down there first chance I got. And I was supremely disappointed to only find rows and rows of plants growing under lights. Yeah, must be tomato plants, I suspect. You wake up in Kim Jong-un's body. You can speak and understand Korean. Without getting assassinated by your commanders, how do you transition North Korea and its people from an Orwellian state of despair to a prosperous nation so you can then ride your fame to launch your career in music? Kim, is that you? I'm not sure I get this one, but I did fake laugh there. And now I feel bad about it. This is happening right now. I don't know enough about Kim Jong-un, I guess. Did he start a music career that I'm not aware of? Doctors of Reddit, what was your dumbest, I am very smart patient experience? A related story from my friend, oncologist. Jesus, that is a hard thing to pronounce. Basically, a woman had early uterine cancer, but refused surgery. She wanted to explore alternate treatments like coffee enemas and meditation. She somehow managed to get an audience with the Dalai Lama, who told her to go back to Western treatment. That's fucked. Julia Roberts would be the perfect Hollywood adaptation of this story. She would nail it. She would nail it. She is an amazing actress. Reddit, what's your top holy shit that worked moment? Had a laptop slide backwards off my lap, hit the floor and stopped working. Showed me an error screen and wouldn't start back up. I decided to turn it over and drop it from the same height onto its opposite side. Why not? It's already broken, right? And it started working again. Fuck yeah! Alright! Oh, wow. When logic is both a winner and a loser. Yeah. Has anyone ever gone through with a marriage pact? You know, like, if we're not married by 30, we'll marry each other. How did it work out? My best friend and I made a pact when we were 18 that if we were both still single when we were 30, let's just fucking kill each other. I'm 29. I'm a little older than her. I'm scared. That's awesome. What are some good weird questions to ask someone to get to know them better? What do you hate? Seriously. You can have nothing in common with a person, but as soon as you realize you both hate the same things, you'll feel like that dude is family. This is kind of true. People do relate a lot over hate. It's weirdly, eerily true. Teachers of Reddit. What's the difference between 1997, 2007, and 2017 students? 97, quit passing notes. 07, quit texting. 17, are you seriously watching Netflix right now? So technology is getting better. So that's about technology. Neat. What is something that was once considered to be a legend or myth that eventually turned out to be true? Well, not quite a perfect fit here, but the one that always sticks out in my mind was that the Mongolians would always boil their water before drinking to get rid of the tiny evil spirits. That's a pretty good description of germs and bacteria for the time period. That is a super awesome answer. You are a savage. Female orgasm. Awesome. What's a let that sink in fun fact? We are closer to the year 2040 than the year 1994. Stop. No, really. Wait. My God. That is scary. If historical figures actually did roll in their graves, which grave would generate the most power if you hooked up a generator? If Sir Isaac Newton knew what we were suggesting, that a body at rest could spontaneously generate motion without being acted on by an external force, he'd start spinning in his grave. This is a smart answer. Smart answer to a smart question. Reddit, what's your top holy shit that worked moment? I work on costumes in theater in New York City. About 2 years ago, I was sitting in the front row of a show, and a button popped off one of the costumes. The next day, I took it back to the stage door with my resume and a little note that said, "This came off one of the costumes yesterday. I thought you might want it back. And while I have your attention, here is my resume." And that is the story of how I got my first job on a Broadway show. I'm not sure I followed what I just read there, but fucking good for you, man. Good for you. That is a go-getter attitude. Well done. You awaken, closed smoking in a ruined bunker in 1945 with a box containing a 2015-era laptop with Photoshop and Premiere Pro installed, a scanner, photo printer, analog to USB input converter, and more than enough printer ink and card photo stock. How do you best start screwing with history? Photoshop a stupid mustache onto all photos of Hitler. It was you this whole time, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, because he ruined that mustache for everyone. Autistic people of Reddit, what is autism really like? I was diagnosed with Asperger's at the age of 11. I feel like I'm part of a play where everyone has the script except me. It sounds like a great description of having a disorder of any kind. Well done. Savage answer. What's the most illegal thing you could do with $1? I'm Canadian. I could buy a Kinder Surprise and probably sneak it to the US. Snort coke. Wow. That was like a fun answer, and then the other answer was really dark. I feel like Ben needs to work some shit out. A man walks up to you on the street and hands you a briefcase. He tells you there is a 50% chance of there being a bomb, which will explode on opening, and a 50% chance of there being $10 billion. Do you open it? Why or why not? I don't get this question. Opening it is a win-win situation. Holy fuck. That is really dark. That is really dark. I don't know. Great question. Scary answer. Waiters and waitresses of restaurants that offer crayons to children. What's the weirdest thing you've seen a child draw? When I was about 7, I wrote my home phone number on the table because I thought the waitress was cute. She called the number thinking my dad wrote it. Note, don't know how she mixed up a 7-year-old's handwriting with a 40-year-old man. My mom answered the phone and accused my dad of cheating. After hearing them yell at each other for a while, I finally told them the truth. Needless to say, they still laugh about it or at me to this day. That seriously could have broke up a marriage. Also, this waitress is fucking desperate for a date. Oh, wow. This barely legible writing. He seems like a winner. Wow. Awesome. What would the person who named walkie-talkies have named other items? Pregnancy test, baby. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Matches might light. That's not as good. Maybe baby is perfect. Males of Reddit who give birthday blowjobs to their best friends as a gift. When did you start this tradition? And how did you find out about it? And what happened? Oh boy, I think someone got you good. Birthday blow... What? That's awesome. What is the dumbest solution to a problem that actually worked? One of my friends is a teacher, and he was finding it hard to deal with his kids dabbing in class. So he started doing it in a super white dude awkwardly trying to fit in with no rhythm kind of way. The kids stopped. Yeah, that's one way to ruin something. Adult the shit out of it. Parents of Reddit, what is the most absurd thing you found on your kid's social media? Well, my stepson is 7. Found a bunch of searches for Dominican with no hands and feet. Dominicans with no heads. Dominican chests. Dominican torsos. Dominican legs. Dominicans in stores. Dominicans for sale. Silver Dominicans, black Dominicans, white Dominicans. I was at a loss of how to bring it up to him. Thankfully, the next day, we were in a clothing store, and he asked me why Dominicans don't have hands or heads. Then why there were so many different colored Dominicans. I remembered the internet searches and became a little upset. I told him to be quiet because what he was saying could be taken offensively by Dominican people. He then got frustrated and loudly said, "Dominicans aren't people," as he pointed to a statue next to us. I breathed a sigh of relief and said, "Mannequins?" Obviously, right? Or you're doing something terribly, terribly wrong. Oh my God. What a funny search history though, right? Oh my God. That was great. That was perfect. This kid is amazing and has the best search history I've ever seen in my life. What's a short, clean joke that gets a laugh every time? What's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. Multilingual Redditors, what is your "they didn't realize I spoke their language" story? I said something like, you need to be careful when you're talking shit about someone in your native language. There might always be someone who understands you. I said this in German while I was in Italy. A woman who was walking by responded, "Like me, for example?" Yeah, that is exactly what you would have expected from that question. Waiters and waitresses of restaurants that offer crayons to children. What's the weirdest thing you've seen a child draw? My niece was always quite the drama queen. About 9 years ago, we were eating at a restaurant and I saw her drawing a lovely landscape. It was adorable watching her draw a son wearing sunglasses, grass, flowers, and a tombstone. Concerned, I asked what she was drawing. She said, "It is me. We waited so long here, I died. She is an even more dramatic teenager now. Help me. Help me." That's a savage kid. Very dark. Something out of a Tim Burton movie. That's what that is. Referring to your pets as only "my roommate." What's something your roommate does? My roommate crawls into bed with me and my girlfriend at night, thinking we won't notice. Best response. That's hilarious. What does 1 HP of damage in real life? Hearing your own recorded voice played back to you. I can agree. I can 100% agree to this. I think I sound ridiculous. What is the best thing to say to someone to subtly fuck with their heads? I would always ask my roommate, "Have you ever seen our toothbrush?" That's gross. And also, yes, that would Yeah, you wouldn't. I wouldn't be that. No, what? What's the biggest double life you've ever personally seen revealed? Our family cat was outside one night, and I see my cat walking directly towards my neighbor's house. And then I see the front door open. Walks directly inside, like she's done it a million times. She was outside quite a bit, so we assumed she was outside doing cat stuff. Nope. Little kitty was just at home number 2. Yeah, that is one twisted fucking cat. Holy shit. People who stand up immediately after the plane lands, even though you are 30 rows deep, why? Why? I have always had this problem. Premature evacuation. Oh, it's like a dad joke, but a really good one. Really good one. Good job, Shitty J Meats. K Shitty J Meats. This person's awesome. So awesome. What just kind of disappeared without people noticing? Privacy. That's just a great answer. That's just a great answer to this question. But not super funny, but great answer. Great answer. Solid answer. What is one rule that was implemented at your school or work that backfired horribly? My company, as part of its alcohol policy, said you should not drink for at least 4 hours before coming to work. So when engineers got called about production problems over the weekend, they all just said, just had a beer, but could be there in about 4 or 5 hours. It's a great excuse not to come into work. Well done. Well done. What's a let that sink in fun fact? We put a man on the moon before we put wheels on luggage. Whoa! What? That is mind-blowing. Whoa! I wonder if putting a man on the moon is what set that into motion. Like, someone was watching the moon landing and was like, why are we still carrying luggage around? Boom! Light bulb! Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. And if you did, be sure to like, subscribe, share, do whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? And come back next time for another whatever the fuck this was. Thanks again for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to bitch slap that subscribe button like it's 3 weeks behind on your rent. Bitch! Where's the money, bitch? Where's the money? Where is it? Also, go ahead and hit that bell icon too, because apparently YouTube thought there should be extra steps. Why not, right?
I'd like to subscribe, but first I have to click this and do this. Oh, it needs an email. All right, and this. Okay, fuck. Just tell me when he's uploading. Fuck!
Once you do all that, if you're lucky, at the stroke of midnight, a tiny little Averagebaters fairy might come and tickle your butthole. Now, I hope to see you all again next time, and remember to keep on average baiting, baby.